Welcome to another video from Gradelink websites. In this video we'll go through the steps on how to add a new email me pop-up contact form to a new profile that you added. It does have to be manually added for each new staff member that you put in your staff directory. And the staff directory does have to be set up in a certain way. If you don't have this feature and you would like it set up, please reach out to Gradelink website support. If you already have this feature set up in your staff directory, in which you have an email me button and it results in a pop-up that has a contact form that goes directly to that person, then this tutorial is to show you how you can add a new staff member, and once that new staff member has been added, to link up a pop-up contact form for them. So the first step is going to be to head over to your dashboard. Once you log in, click on Forms. And if you already have this set up, you should already have a series of contact forms, one for each person. And so the simple way is to duplicate. So once you click on Duplicate, then you'll have a duplicate, and you can go to Settings, Form Settings, and change the name of the form title. So let's say we're doing it for Kendra. I'm just going to use Kendra as an example. Click on Save Settings, and then you'll also want to go to the form notification. So under the Settings drop-down, go to Notifications, and there should be one set up there. So hover over that and click on Edit. Then change the email to whatever it needs to be for the destination of that contact form, and click Update Notification at the bottom. Once you've set up the form, we still need to embed it on a Divi overlay. So the overlay is the actual pop-up portion of it. And one way you can do it is just by duplicating an existing one. And you can do so by hovering over an existing one and clicking the duplicate button. But realize that the actual layout is not going to carry over. So you can see there's a section in a row, but there's no modules in there. So that means there's a two-step. Once you duplicate the profile, it'll carry over the settings over on the right-hand side here. But then the other elements here we have to manually adjust. So first thing is it's good to rename it so it has the name of the person that this overlay is going to be assigned to. Then the next bit is going to be to click this Insert Layout button. On the purple bar, click Insert Layout. Then click Save Layout, which is the center option. And click on the Your Existing Pages tab here. Once you've done that, then it's easy to check the box for Divi overlays. That way it only shows the layouts for Divi overlays. You don't have to sort through a bunch of different layouts. And we'll go ahead and just use any of these that were already created. Click Use This Layout. One thing to note, if you do that, then don't use the first option, because that is actually the one that you're currently creating, which is blank. So don't click on the first one. Just click any of the other layouts that match the intent, which is a contact form. So we've imported our layout. Then we're going to have to edit these modules slightly. So click on Module Settings, and we're going to replace the name that's in there with the name of the person that we are putting in. So I'm just going to quickly copy and paste here. So we'll put Kendra McNatt in. So there we have the title. Then we're going to click the green check mark on that, and then click on the settings icon for the second text module. And for this one, we need to grab the Gravity Form ID. So where you get that is you can actually go over to Forms. I would recommend right-clicking on it and then click Open Link in New Tab. That way you don't close this tab out with the information you're working on, the overlay. But we need to replace simply what's between the two quotation marks here with the correct ID. So the form that we duplicated, previously. Kendra, so that ID for that is 61, or in this case, there was one for Kendra already, so we trashed that. But we're going to grab the ID from right here. So it's 58. Heading back over to the new Divi overlay. Again, we only need to replace the number. Don't remove any quotation marks or any other part of the short code. The new ID that we're putting in to replace is 58, and leave everything else. Click on the green check mark, and then we can go ahead and click publish. Now we've got one more step, which is the actual linking of this particular overlay that now contains the form. We need to grab what's called the CSS ID. So we're going to copy this. It's over on the right hand side under manual triggers. Click copy for the CSS ID. Make sure there's no spaces before or after. And then we're going to head over to the theme builder. So that's under Divi. So hover over Divi and then click on theme builder, and it'll take us to this page. Now you'll see there's an option here that says children of specific pages, faculty, and staff. So this is the one that we're going to edit, and you'll see why shortly. So we want to edit the body because that's where the dynamic areas, including the email button, are. So hover over this pencil icon, which is edit, for the custom body for children of specific pages, faculty, and staff. That'll load up the dynamic layout for the faculty and staff. And you can see there's a whole bunch of buttons here. Now each one of these is assigned to a specific profile, and it'll show conditionally based on which profile is currently being viewed. But on the back end, it's showing every single button. So that being said, you do need to make sure you maintain this. So if you remove people from the staff, it's probably a good idea to remove their button as well. One way you could tell them apart is by clicking on the wireframe view. So wireframe you can access by clicking on the purple button down below. So typically you'd see this in desktop view. And then when you click the purple button, you'll see this gray toolbar over here. And you can click on wireframe view. So now you can see there's all the buttons. So if you see any names in here that have been deleted from a staff directory, go ahead and just click on the trash can and delete those buttons if they're no longer in use. Now you also have an easy way to create a new button and assign it, and that is to use the duplicate module. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the module where it says Miss Amanda Nichols. So we now have a button there. Then we're going to click on the settings icon, and we're going to change this admin label first. So we're going to put the name Kendra, since that's the one, Kendra McNatt. I'm going to type it, because if I copy and paste, then I will lose the CSS ID that I previously copied. Alright, so that's the first thing. Change the admin label, that way you'll know which one you're actually editing in the future. And the link, we don't have to do anything here, it's just hashtag open. But what we do need to do is click on advanced, the advanced tab here, click CSS ID and classes, and then there's the CSS ID. So we just need to paste in, instead of what was there previously, we need to paste in the CSS ID that we previously copied from this overlay that we created. If you recall, it's over here under manual triggers. We copied that, and I'm pasting that into the CSS ID, replacing what was there before. Now we'll click on Save Changes, the green check mark, and click Save. Oh, and there's one more step actually. If we click on module settings again, if you need to access that again, just click on module settings, the settings icon for the person in question, the email button. And we also need to go to advanced, and under conditions, we need to edit this condition so that this will only display on the person's profile, not on somebody else's profile. So the condition here, you can click on the settings icon for display conditions. Then we're going to check the box for Kendra McNatt, and we're going to uncheck it for the previous person. And then we'll click on the green save check mark, save changes, and then we can save changes again for the whole thing. Now, if we go ahead and go, after that has finished saving, to Kendra McNatt's profile, then we can go ahead and click on the email button, and indeed it says contact Miss Kendra McNatt, and we know we should, if you test this, it should go directly to Kendra's email because we updated it in the actual form notification. So it's a few steps, and it takes a little bit to explain, but once you get the hang of this, this should be a pretty easy process. If we go through it once more very quickly, then perhaps we can do it for one other staff member here. And then, let's see. Okay, Stephanie Carolis. So that would be the next person where we need to link up an email button, because currently there is no email button there. So we need to make sure that we follow these steps once more. So from the top, we'll go ahead and search for Stephanie, because I believe there is already a form there for Stephanie. If not, then duplicate somebody's and edit the notification and the form title. Let's double check that this one is directing to the correct email, and indeed it is. So now we're ready already to create the Divi overlay. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this again just because it's easier. So I'll duplicate any one of these contact overlays. Then we'll put in Stephanie's name as the title. And we'll go a bit faster this time since we already went through it in detail once. Once we put in Stephanie's name, we import the layout. Click on that Insert Layout button. And again, you click on your existing pages, display Divi overlays, and then we can use any layout here. Except the first one, because that's the default, which is blank. Next, we're going to put in Stephanie's name on the overlay. And you can, if you do copy and paste, make sure you do paste and match style, because otherwise you could easily get a messed up version of it. So once we put the name in, then again we just need to put in the correct form ID here. We can grab that from the Forms tab and just search for Stephanie, and it's form ID number 59. Click the green check mark, and at this point we're ready to publish that. Then all we need to do is copy that CSS ID that appears over on the right hand side after you've published, and copy that. Then we'll head over to the theme builder, and I've already got it open, so I won't review how to open this back up, but we can just duplicate one of the existing email me buttons, and we're just going to change the admin label to reflect the person's name, Stephanie Carolis. Then we head over to the Advanced tab, put in the CSS ID. Oh, we might need to copy that again. Alright, put in the CSS ID. Then under Conditions, click on the Settings icon, and we need to check the box next to Stephanie's name and uncheck the box for the previous person, which in this case was Kendra. Click the green check mark, and click Save. Then we can double check on Stephanie's profile, Now we should have an email button, and it opens up the pop-up and email form for Stephanie. So fairly quick process there. Should take about 5 minutes per form, and you should be all set. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to Gradelink website support.